Alright, it's finally here. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Return Issue 2 is out now, and this series has been selling like hotcakes because Issue 1 sold out within a week and it got a second printing. And for everyone who turned in to watch my Issue 1 review, left a comment, shared it around, left a like, thank you so much for the support on that video. I was not expecting my Issue 1 review of MMPR The Return to do so well. So let's keep the train running and talk about Issue 2 because there is a lot to talk about, there is a lot to break down, and we'll be going over that in this video. So Issue 2 is subtitled as Chapter 2, The Next Power Ranger, and that is most definitely related to what we see at the end of this issue, but we'll be talking about that when we get to it near the end of the review slash recap. So this issue opens up with a flashback 22 years ago, and here we have the evil space aliens celebrating up in Bandora's palace, as it's just after they destroyed the command center as Zordon and Alpha 5 are dead as they were lost in the explosion. And this is where we get to see what happened on that fateful day where the Power Rangers took the battle to the moon to deal with Lord Zedd and Rita. So finally we get to see what happened 22 years ago, where what happened on the moon, what happened to Tommy, because this is the one thing they've been sort of teasing and hyping up with the solicitations. I mean, in the prelude that Amy Jo Johnson did for the 30th anniversary comic, one of the big things we did see was the big crater in the moon, and that gets explained here. So we finally get a good glimpse and a good look at what happened all those years ago. But like I said, the Rangers are going all out in this battle because they bring their Zords up on the moon, and the Rangers barely bring their Zords up on the moon to fight. We did see them once and always and in the comics with the Omega Rangers, but seeing the Dino Zords up on the moon and kicking ass is a really cool thing to see here. Now, the plan they've got here is very interesting. So the plan is to distract the evil space aliens while Tommy and Kimberly sneak into the Moon Palace and plant a giant bomb. And what this giant bomb is, it's basically a Z-Wave before the Z-Wave, as during the battle between Kimberly, Rita, and Tommy, Kimberly even says, or Kimberly and Tommy even say that this bomb is not meant to kill you, it's going to purify you and make you good like us. And this battle is drawn really freaking well. Like, you've got the Rangers in their Dino Zords, and they're fighting off all these classic Mighty Morphin Power Ranger monsters as they're fighting on the moon. But not only that, you've got Goldar going giant, you've got Scorpina going giant, and this battle is just freaking crazy. But it's really cool to see that we're seeing the Z-Wave being implemented into this series. Like, before, like, we actually saw the Z-Wave, like Billy was able to create a bomb in the form of the Z-Wave, which is pretty cool to say, I will say that. Now, things do take a turn for the worse during this assault on the Moon Palace, where Tommy and Kimberly, they're overwhelmed by Putties and Rita Repulsa, and during the battle, Tommy is knocked back as Rita Repulsa gives him a relentless assault. Tommy is knocked back, he hits the bomb, damaging it, but while Tommy's knocked on the ground, Rita is just zapping him with her wand, and Kimberly jumps in to help, but she pulls out her power bow, fires it, hitting Rita Repulsa straight through the chest, killing her. And that scene where I turned the page and I saw the power bow go through Rita Repulsa's chest was kind of a shocking thing to see, because, you know, we had Once and Always last year, and that's when Billy stabbed his power lance right through Rita Repulsa's chest. Here, Kimberly just pulled the arrow and, well, pulled the trigger and just killed her, which was something that Tommy did say it had to be done. She didn't really have much of a choice here, and they didn't go to the Moon Palace with the intent to kill. They wanted to purify everyone there and make them good like everyone else. But with Rita Repulsa dead and the bomb damaged, things aren't looking good for our heroes, because it feels like that the plan might fail. But Billy soon reveals that there's a backup switch, but the timer will only last for 10 seconds, and Tommy decides to stay behind, and Kimberly wants to stay behind with him, but Tommy refuses, as they both know why Kimberly can't stay behind, hinting at a character we'll see later on at the end of the issue. So the two embrace each other and they kiss, and it's a very emotional moment as they say goodbye to each other. And the Rangers escape as the bomb is detonated and the Rangers safely arrive on Earth. Watching the explosion go off, they soon celebrate, but Jason soon questions, "Where's Tommy?" And then you have Kimberly on her knees, sobbing and crying. So, that battle on the moon, there's a couple of things we got to take away from that. The Z-Wave bomb, it went off. We don't know if it purified everyone. We've got Tommy. Did he die? Did he survive? That is the big question on everyone's mind. I get the feeling that Tommy probably did die in that final battle, and Amy Jo Johnson is sort of writing off Tommy as going out like a hero, protecting the ones that he cared about and loved, much like JDF would do. So that's my big theory and speculation. But if Tommy is alive, that would be probably a big game changer in this comic as well. But we don't know what happened to other villains because, like I said, we've got that mystery cloaked villain that we've seen floating around on the covers. But not only that, we've seen them at the start of the first issue at the very beginning. So there's probably some things left unseen or unanswered with that final battle, and probably some mystery that needs to be unraveled with everything going on. Back in the present day, Kimberly is done telling the story to Selena, and Selena is just full of questions. The first thing that she asks Kimberly is, what happened to the other Rangers? And Kimberly answers by saying, well, the world no longer needed them because they became Rangers at the age of 15, and now that Rita and Zed was defeated, there was no main evil, so it was time for everyone to live normal lives and just move on. So that's why Kimberly moved all the way out into Canada in a cabin in the woods, because she wanted a fresh start. But Kimberly believes that Selena wasn't chosen by Trini to become a Ranger. She believes that Trini trusted her to bring the Morpher to her so no one can become a Ranger ever again. So Kimberly is on this mindset that she kind of wants the cycle of Power Rangers to end so no one has to go through what they went through all those years ago. She feels like it's the end of the Power Rangers and they're no longer needed in this world anymore. After that, Kimberly then walks over to a safe and out comes her Morpher, and Selena requests to hold it. So while Selena is holding onto the Morpher, she asks Kimberly this question: how did it feel to kill Rita Repulsa? And this is where things change very quickly with the mood and how dramatic things get. So Selena's like nudging Kimberly on the shoulder, asking if she felt relieved about killing Rita, and Kimberly says that was never part of the plan. She never wanted to kill Rita or Zed. That was a malfunction with what happened there. It wasn't part of the plan, they didn't expect it to happen. And then things get even weirder, where Selena then asks if there will be anyone out there like Rita or Zed again, or will the world ever need Power Rangers again? And Kimberly believes that there is no need for them anymore, but this is where, like I said, things get crazy. Selena then has this sinister grin on her face and questions if she's sure about that answer, and then on the next page, she transforms in what just seems to be a younger version of Rita. So the villain we saw last month, the villain that we've been seeing on all the covers, it's still unclear who this villain is and what they're about, because we don't get any confirmation if this is Rita or if this is Rita's child or not, but whoever they are dangerous. But if you were predicting that Selena was actually like this new villain in disguise, then you guys are great. You guys pulled that prediction out of the park, because I didn't see that coming. I thought it could be a possibility, because when you piece it all together, yeah, how did this 15-year-old girl find Kimberly all the way in the middle of Canada? Doesn't make sense when you think about it. But yeah, that was a crazy turn-pager moment when you just see Selena having that big grin on her face, and then suddenly she transforms into the villain we've been seeing in the comic for the past couple of months. So Kimberly quickly jumps into action, and her first response, well, just throw the Morpher at their face, like point blank, throw the Morpher at their face. And Kimberly, still having some gymnastic moves in her, she rolls around on the floor, goes to grab the Morpher, tries to morph, but she's interrupted as the villain stops her from morphing. And if you've got a villain that's interrupting morph sequences as they're happening, you know they're not to be messed with. So Kimberly's unable to defeat this villain and she's knocked out cold, and now this mysterious villain now has 2 more Morphers added to their collection. So whatever they're doing, it looks like they're collecting Morphers, and I'm sure as we've only got 2 more issues to go after this one, we'll probably find out what their true motivation is probably in next month's issue, because I feel like we're going to get a lot going down within the next couple of issues leading into the finale of this series. And it does suck that this is a mini-series, because I feel like maybe if this went on for more than 4 issues, like maybe 5 or 6, or hell, even 12. I feel like there could have been a lot that could have fleshed out with the story that Amy Jo Johnson wanted to tell here. But hey, maybe we'll get sequel baited, and maybe we'll get something teasing for more stuff like this in the nearby future. It did sell really well, so maybe we'll see more stuff like this later down the line. Who knows? So, the final page, we see this fancy car pulling up at Kimberly's place, and they're wondering why all the lights are off. But once they enter the home, they notice that the place is a wreck, and the safe is open, and the morpher has gone missing. So finally, we enter Olivia Hart, the daughter of Tommy and Kimberly, and from all the spoilers and from all the solicitations, the next Mighty Morphin Green Ranger. And that is where MMPR The Return Issue 2 ends at. So yeah, that was MMPR The Return Issue 2, and it was a pretty good, solid issue. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to see where it's going to go next. But what did you guys think of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Return Issue 2? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. With that said, I'm going to bring this video to a close. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you guys later. Peace out, take care, bye.